And of course, as soon as I say that, the game immediately launches. Thank you, guys. Well, welcome back to the PGL Bucharest Major NA qualifiers. Got Immortals going up against the 5 Turtles. Here in Game 2, Immortals hit their timing and hit it really, really hard, and 5 Turtles, with some interesting drafting, just crumbled. They folded, they had very little to respond to, and Immortals just steamrolled them. So here's hoping for a little bit of a closer game here in the second game. Going to be really tough for 5 Turtles. They had to have a different stand-ins. We don't see Boruto, we see MJW instead. So they're really taking the tour of like all the NA players they could possibly get to play on their team. And I mean, having one stand-in like isn't that bad, but still having any stand-in like at all typically makes your team a lot weaker. Now, I don't know if they've played before on a team necessarily. I'm sure they've run into each other in pubs or whatever, but just, you never really want to be working with any stand-ins. I'm not standing in. I'm here for real. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for this game. There is more NA Dota coming after this set. I am not covering that, though, so I think that's Optic, Animal Planet, and Radiant versus someone versus Pikachu Blue Pikachu. I'm not sure who's on that, but it'll be on the same... It'll be on this channel, so it'll go down for a little bit, and you guys just stay here. Someone's going to be casting it. I'm like 99% sure on that. I don't know. That's not my job. But what we know it is my job is to go over these picks and bans. I don't know what these two teams have against supports. Like, they just don't like them. They've banned out a ton of supports in last game and now in this one. It is weird to see Shadow Shaman not being included in one of those support bans, but... especially after last game, I completely understand 5 Turtles taking out both the Enchantress and the Chen, these heroes that just let you go for these insane early mid-game timing pushes. And, well, Immortals deciding to go for a Tusk, taking that away from 5 Turtles. Seems like, I mean, if you first pick up a Tusk, clearly you are comfortable with the hero. Although I'm not really sure if we can call that a successful Tusk game. 5 Turtles will go instead for something a little bit more traditional. Whoa, okay, new hero PogChamp. You guys see the release notes on the latest patch? They added this hero called Skywrath Mage. Yeah, he's a pretty high burst damage hero, but he is paper thin. First of all, 5 Turtles, though. A pretty easy combo here. Shadow Shaman, of course, can babysit if you need him to, can roam around very effectively. Razor doesn't really need the help, so going for very, very independent lanes, which is a stark contrast to what we saw in the last game. So 5 Turtles should be pretty well set up already. Immortals, going with the Tusk first pick is already a little bit odd. I mean, some teams do it, some teams will just never do that. I do think he is powerful enough, mostly by means of his flexibility, to make it so that a first pick Tusk very rarely is going to be kicking you in the balls. But first pick Skywrath Mage, or first phase pick Skywrath Mage, that might kick you in the balls. Skywrath Mage, as I said, is, I want to say, like one of the burstiest heroes in the game. Like, he can absolutely destroy you. But the problem is that he has like 100 max health and 0 armor. He's very fast, so movement speed-wise, Skywrath Mage is difficult to catch up to, especially since if you try to run at him, he will see you coming, he will fire off the concussive shot, and then you just will never hit him. So, yeah, he is kind of elusive in that regard. I feel like this hero shouldn't be first phased. That's for one thing. Like, Immortals definitely have some sort of plan here, but if you do pick up a Skywrath Mage, you need a combo with him, and I am using the word combo in air quotations right now. The old ones, the classic ones, Bat Rider, Faceless Void, Legion Commander, any way of stopping the enemies from moving for any extended period of time, just to make sure that there's no interference there. Because they themselves have the Tusk, you know that there is no way that there's, or I mean, they, I guess, still can get a save hero, but usually, like, Tusk is the save hero you want up against Skywrath Mage, so they kind of protected their Skywrath Mage as far as that's concerned. Now, we used to see Skywrath Mage a lot, and then he got nerfed, and then he used to be only really needed when you needed a very fast silence. Because Ancient Seal is, I actually don't recall if it's instant cast or if there's like a 0.1 second cast time, but it's like a really fast silence. Like, if you're going up against a Storm Spirit and a Puck, then it's like, oh, well, we need a silence. Who are we going to get? Well, it's probably just Skywrath Mage, but his lack of bulk really has killed him. I'm thinking that because they picked it up this early, they're going to give him into towards QO or MP, probably MP, and let him get a little bit of extra farm. A Skywrath Mage that has farm can absolutely drop bombs, but very similarly to what we saw in the last game, Immortals, they really would want to hit an early game timing with this hero. Because if you do push late game as Skywrath Mage, it's not that he's not a good hero, it's the fact that once BKBs come up, like, he just is stone useless, and that's what I want to see. Pugna is a hero that will let you go for that type of strategy, and is also a hero that just destroys Skywrath, so Immortals definitely are cooking with gas right now. But yeah, I expect Core Skywrath, and I expect a very devastating kind of early mid timing push. For 5 turtles, they are already much more well equipped to deal with this than in the last game. Queen of Pain, Razor, these are all-star heroes in lane. They don't need a lot of help, but if you do give them a little bit of help, they can absolutely destroy their lane opposition, especially since you have 2 cores, I'd imagine cores, on the Immortal side that are incredibly soft in both Pugna and Skywrath Mage. So if you get on top of them, just blink on top of them and just blow them up, then yeah, that's going to be a pretty good way of keeping yourself safe. And Sand King is another hero that can, of course, do that. Immortals lanes aren't weak by any means, but they do need a little more help than 5 turtles. Put a Queen of Pain in lane and you will not need to help her all that much. Same thing for the Razor. So 5 turtles, they are responding very heavily to what Immortals are doing without really building up much of their own type of strategy, and that is somewhat of a concern. Like, they have good matchups, and sometimes good matchups are really all you need. But like, are they pushing for late game here? Are they just going to look to win the lanes and just kind of tempo the game out? If so, they have a Shadow Shaman to push, but that's pretty much it. So 5 turtles are all about that fight, all about winning fights consecutively, making sure Immortals don't get their game plan off. Again, that's not really where you want to be theoretically, but if you do win your strategy and make that happen convincingly enough, then it really doesn't matter. Like, once Skywrath Mage and Pugna are behind, it's really difficult for them to get back in the game. Tusk as well. I mean, you could save heroes from Epicenter and Sonic Wave, and there is some potential there for sure. There's a lot, actually. But yeah, for Immortals, they are not planning on playing from behind. If they ever do get behind, it's going to be really tough for them to get back in the driver's seat. Immortals going to give them at least a little bit of bulk on the front line now, specifically versus these 5 turtles heroes. Razor has some pretty good physical damage, but except for that, I mean, Queen of Pain has some pure, I guess, to get through to the Viper. A lot of magic damage coming out from 5 turtles, so Viper going to be a difficult nut to crack, and just another one of those heroes that Immortals can lane and kind of be okay with that. I have seen MSS do offlane Pugna before, and there's always a chance that Pugna or Skywrath Mage take towards more of a supporty type role. But for right now, Immortals have so much lane flexibility. 5 turtles don't really have a ton. I mean, I guess Sand King can 4 position with the Shadow Shaman boots first to be pretty effective, and that it seems very powerful. But Queen of Pain going mid, Razor going mid, they're both about equally powerful in that matchup. Maybe Razor slightly better up against the Viper, but really the differences aren't severe enough to really warrant any response from Immortals. So 5 turtles can be happy throwing their heroes in whatever role, whatever lane they're comfortable doing, and they'll just be fine with that. Whereas Immortals have to play the kind of mind games and kind of play their matchups and maybe like sack MP and as per usual, do stuff like that to ensure that they have their at least not terrible lane matchups. This pick is instant, zero hesitation whatsoever. Immortals pick up a Juggernaut, so it looks like it is going to be a support Skywrath Mage. I want to say Juggernaut, Skywrath Mage, Tusk as like the 1-4-5, and then Pugna offlane, Viper mid. Pugna offlane is something that you can stop very easily if you win a stun on him at all, and a Broodmother. Oh man, this is maybe just going to win 5 turtles the game, because the Immortals AoE is lacking. Viper doesn't have much game versus the Brood, nor does Juggernaut. Pugna, it can handle Broodmother Spiderling somewhat, but still, like, you do not ever want to be playing a Skywrath Mage up against a Broodmother. That is like the most miserable thing of all time, because if you get jumped by like a handful of Spiderlings, you don't have any way of protecting yourself. You don't get a lot of farm as a support Skywrath Mage, so you won't have like a Force Staff or a Ghost Scepter or anything like that. You have no armor. None of your abilities are useful at killing off spiders, so yeah, you're just boned. Sword also plays this Broodmother a little bit more so than other players that I've seen, so this kind of counter strategy that 5 turtles have, I think, has the potential of being good enough in lane to just stop Immortals cold and ensure that they have themselves 1 lanes and therefore 1 mid game, and then at that point Immortals, once they're behind, they're not coming back. That being said, if Immortals are able to handle their lanes well, if they're able to avoid deaths, get farm on QO, make sure that MP and MSS don't die, maybe get a couple successful rotations in early on with that Skywrath Mage, then they can definitely snowball out of control in this game. No pun intended, yes, they do have a Tusk. So it's just going to come down to those lanes. Whoa, this Spiderling cosmetic moves in the load screen. I had no idea. I don't know. I feel like this draft from 5 Turtles is in a much better position to win than the draft that we saw from them in Game 1. If they are going to win a game versus Immortals, it is going to be with this draft. That is for sure. Especially, like, I mean, this draft is okay for 5 Turtles, but it's also like this draft versus the draft that Immortals have for themselves in particular. Really, really good matchups, almost across the board, it seems. Let's see who's going to be playing what first. So we got Dubu playing the Tusk, Sword, classic SA pause. I actually have no idea where this guy actually lives. I have zero clue. Dubu's playing the Tusk, got MSS on the Pugna. We can see 355 movement speed, still with the ability to pick up boots and get even faster. Dude's got his Nikes. Febby as well. I mean, 330 movement speed is one of the highest, if not the highest. I think like Enchantress is 335 or something like that. Maybe. But yeah, Skywrath Mage is fast as hell. He's also got his shoes on. QO is on the Juggernaut. That leaves MP on the Viper. On the other end, Gunner is going to be playing a little more of a useful hero in this Queen of Pain. Got Sword on the Broodmother. MJW, the new stand-in, is on the Shadow Shaman with Jason playing that Sand King once again. Kenny, this time on the Razor. The Chase is on for the Sand King. They do get a read that he has boots first, but him being able to see exactly what this lane setup is going to be, most likely going to be, is some pretty good intel traded both ways. And whoa! This is some aggro. Yeah, this Observer Ward plays super deep. Dubu and Febby really seems like they don't have much interest in staying in their lanes. Just gonna let the cores do their thing lanes and just have this gank squad of Skywrath Mage and Tusk. This gank squad does put out a lot of damage, is somewhat of a concern as far as positioning is concerned, simply because it's very difficult to gank and kill off a Queen of Pain. Yeah, do the same towards the Sand King, they'll just jump over your shards, and of course, the Skywrath Mage is only level 1, so he'll need level 3 at least until he's at like absolute full power in his ganking. Get that 1 point in seal just to make sure that you are able to prevent that blink out for any period of time. It's going to take a little while to get set up, and in the meantime, Sword has like the cleanest matchup of all time. There is no Chen shenanigans here. There's just a Juggernaut going up against a Broodmother. Now, this isn't really like a disastrous lane for the Juggernaut. He has some answers as far as keeping himself alive, but the Healing Ward is going to be pretty damn useless up against the Spiders. He really can't pressure the Broodmother. It should be a lane where the Broodmother has a nice clean win. 3v2 on top lane. Kenny has picked up Plasma Field already, expecting not to be able to get very close towards the Pugna, and you know, that's right. Pugna's so fast, you're never going to get close to him. They're just trading hits. This is pretty standard Skywrath Mage fare as far as how standard a Skywrath Mage can actually be. Usually when we used to see him, it just first thing you do is go towards mid lane and dump your entire mana pool with Arcane Bolts into the enemy, and then just go base again, or Clarity up or something like that. These things do. That was not okay. These things do a hell of a lot of damage. It is really scary how much they do, and the cooldown, it's really powerful level 1 ability, but it gets expensive. It gets really, really expensive moving forward. Looks like MP is actually going to go towards the bottom lane. Versus the Queen of Pain, this lane isn't really going to be anything too different from what Vipers and Queen of Pains normally experience. They'll be trading hits and whatnot, but overall, don't expect to see huge winners. We might see a loser here as Kenny, one more right click, one more bolt, they got him from downtown! Febby with his last scraps of mana, able to get first blood. And let me tell you, gold on Skywrath Mage is an absolute godsend. Just picking up boots, whatever, man. Like, that's already really, really strong, because you're already so fast. If you're able to get any sort of mana sustain, so you're not constantly reliant on clarities, then you just destroy everyone. Speaking of being destroyed, QO is not having a grand old time up against these Spiderlings. Turns around for a right click on them. He does not have a spin. Already used it trying to thin out the herd a little bit. He's not going to die, but still gets kind of banged up there. But yeah, if Skywrath Mage is able to get a couple of items just to kind of smooth over his mana concerns, then he is just such a threat. It's why when you see a Skywrath Mage nowadays, you're never really sure if he's going to be played core as support, because a core Skywrath Mage is such a powerful glass cannon. I don't know if he's the most powerful glass cannon, like, you have heroes like Sniper to contest with, but man is he up there. He is definitely like top 5. He is definitely S tier. Maybe he's going to return to this top lane. CS-wise, things looking pretty darn good for the Radiant. Not terrible for the Dire for sure, but mid lane is pretty much drawing even. I assume not many of these CS from QO are Spiderlings. MSS can try TP out, and that TP lasted so long because I think someone else teleported towards mid lane right before this tower right before, so that was definitely potentially a kill if they just landed that Burrow Strike or Shackle, but Shadow Shaman is not fast. He's the exact opposite of Skywrath Mage, very control heavy and very slow as opposed to the very fast burst nuker of Skywrath. QO again in a little bit of trouble. Does have the poor man not the poor man shield, the stout shield rather. He wishes he had a poor man shield and that Ring of Basilius. Oh, Febby captured in the net of MJW. Jason has a Burrow Strike here. That will also land. Now with right clicks and the shock, Febby is actually walled off by Jason. Literally cannot go through that passageway and will get picked off on top lane. Zobs on the Dire doing a hell of a lot more than this one for the Radiant, which I don't believe has done anything for them. Like, literally anything, it's done 0. But back to QO. He does have that damage block chance with the shield. Does have the extra armor by virtue of usually being close to his tower. And, of course, this Ring of Basilius turned on just to try to keep control of the creep equilibrium. Damn, Gunner is getting really damaged on this lane here. MP wants this kill, but Jason's arrival means that MP probably can't go for it. MJW arriving as well. He does have 2 points in the skin, 6 stick charge as well, trying to race for MJW. It's not enough. Maybe with the dots it will be. Posthumous kill here for MP, but definitely not ideal. Dubu now going to start playing the game, as he was mostly pulling, and he's going to immediately wall off Kenny. Gust of Shot is there. The link goes off onto Dubu, but still it's MSS and Febby doing most of the damage here. Blast not quite going to kill. Here comes the final bolt. No, not quite enough damage. Febby is going to take tower shots. You really don't want to take tower shots as a Skywrath Mage, so it will be the Razor's Stick to save his life. Tusk had a sigil there. I don't think he used it. I did not see it used. I don't know if that would have really helped. But either way, 5 Turtles Razor going to survive that attempt. Burst damage on this lane is pretty intense, but again, Skywrath Mage still just needs to get those levels up before he's really a significant threat. Tusk, not really a high damage hero, is more of a control-y based hero as far as wandering into lanes and ganking is concerned. Let's see if they have enough control and enough damage to kill off MP here. He's going to get into a pretty safe spot in the trees. Now if they are going to kill him, they have to dive, which is a really tough sell up against that Corrosive. TP's coming in. MP is just going to get gibbed before he can wand up. Jason is going to get killed off by the tower, and in the meantime, we also have mid lane Tusk dropping to Sword's Broodmother, so able to kill off that Viper. That is already a big win for 5 Turtles, getting an extra bonus kill in mid. Yeah, at the cost of a Sand King for sure, but that's very much so worth it for the 5 Turtles side. So far, Dubu has been kind of off map, trying to give Viper a little bit extra assistance in that matchup. Definitely does need to kind of step up his power. It's kind of convenient for him since Razor and Broodmother, the only heroes they can actually kill, are not separated by a mid lane. So he really doesn't want to go towards bottom lane because Tusk ganking Queen of Pain is just like impossible. But so far, hasn't really been able to contribute all that much. Oh, Febby's going to get picked off again. MP hitting like a kitten onto Gunner. And Febby is going to be in the wrong neighborhood, gets jacked up and killed. Sword, in the meantime, is running rampant. Again, this draft of 5 Turtles is built for exactly this. Get these advantageous lane matchups and kind of just let the game play itself afterwards. QO gonna try to spin the Spiderlings away. Good freaking luck. Now he's in a lot of trouble because Jason's here with the Burrow Strike. The Dire kill the tower, and they kill off the Jug. He Omni Slashes for reasons unknown. He will go down, and the tower will fall as well. 5 Turtles starting to pull ahead in this game. Not by a huge margin, but for 7 minutes in, having a 2k advantage with the tower down already against a team that is meant to be playing aggressively, that is a very nice lead here for the 5 Turtles. Rotation here from Jason is spotted by this Obs. Dubu is here. A little bit of a fist fight will ensue as MSS, the soft, high damage hero, is going to be hiding in the trees, jumping from Gunner. He's arrived. They will take their snowball for a little bit of a walk here. MSS is going to be like, later, bro. I'm out. And Dubu will get, once again, picked off. Actually, once again? Yeah, once again. These are really tough lanes here for the Immortals side. The gank squad of Skywrath Mage Tusk so far hasn't really been able to do anything. They haven't really tried. Definitely pales in comparison to the power that the Sand King has been able to bring to the table. Jump in towards MSS. He's taking tower aggro, though. Take quite a bit of damage. Snowball here. Burrow Strike does not help you there, so that was not how that gank was supposed to go. Now the Decrep drains shards onto the Razor. That's not an escape path. He is going to be able to salve up, though. Dubu can't really give chase any longer, nor can MSS, and the Razor once again will escape the clutches of death just barely with that magic wand, once again saving his bacon. But still, I mean, that was supposed to be a dive on the Pugna. I was Sand King taking tower aggro and just getting completely smashed by that structure. Shit happens, I guess, but it was a very avoidable death there. QO still trying to farm over in mid. Phase Boots now being delivered. Is going to go for the Battle Fury. Definitely a great item to have up against that Broodmother. But it still is a very long ways away from being completed. And in that time, Broodmother's going to crash in with, I don't know, like 25 Spiderlings? It's impossible to tell. That's a lot of spiders. Definitely a lot of legs there. Ooh, Sand King hit with the Ancient Seal and the Viper Strike. Dots will kill him off afterwards. MJW. If a single poison attack hits, he might be in trouble. He's just fast enough. MP. Level 2 poison attack. Already used the Big Daddy Slow on that Sand King. But again, immediate death there. Gunner, he's going to look to defend this tower. It is deniable. TP in from Jason. TP also in from QO. If they're able to get this tower denied, that is going to be huge. I don't think the Pugna can sneak in for another blast. Really, really wants to. Oh, Jason is thinking about it. He gets it, but now there's no more defense. They know that there's no TP support, and Gunner's going to get Omni Slashed. He did have Blink. He tried to Wand Blink, but the damage from QO just comes out way too quickly. Now, losing Gunner, of course, is bad, but getting that tower denied maybe makes it so that in the end, things aren't that bad for 5 Turtles. At least kind of even in that exchange. We also have seen Broodmother kind of play a little bit quietly here. She's been pushing in this mid lane, doing classic Broodmother things, but for the most part, Immortals are just avoiding that mid lane, and they have so far not been punished. I say that. MSS does have a self-decrepify. Blast will do a little bit of damage here. With MJW approaching, though, MSS will be forced to self-decrep. That is a much easier target. Some Spiderlings will die here. They're going to turn around, try to focus down to this Broodmother. Seal with the Viper Strike does do a lot of damage to Blasts here as well. Viper Strike dot should be able to get this kill. I think they're going to focus onto the Viper instead. With the Razor coming in as well, Sword will survive. The poison attack does do enough damage, actually. She walks into the tower. It didn't look like that was going to work, but MP once again with the posthumous kill. Still, that is literally all 5 Turtles going down towards this bottom lane, and in the meantime, we have ourselves a split-pushing Juggernaut of all heroes. It will be this tower to fall on this bottom lane, that's for sure. That being said, the Juggernaut is getting so much space to go for an item that is such in a great position in this game. I don't think gonna get it, but man, does he do some serious damage onto this top tier 2. Put Pugna in that lane for a couple seconds, and he could destroy that tower easily. 7-9, 5 Turtles lead. Pared down a little bit, though they're still in a pretty darn good spot. Losing that Broodmother, though, is super costly, and that Decrepify from the Pugna will pretty much always be a problem here for Sword. He's going to get stomped by a Centaur. I don't think Immortals necessarily know about it. They do know that he is there, though, because of the Sigil giving them the vision. Sword is going to be able to just walk right on out, though, because Broodmother is a fun and interactive hero.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gunner's pushing this bottom lane all the while. Can't really do what QO was doing earlier. Now the Perseverance is up on the Juggernaut. He has to start that 2k grind for that Demon Edge. Takes a hell of a long time, man. At least it feels like it takes a hell of a long time. That's the thing, like, the new Battle Fury is technically better because it just, like, costs less gold. But it is so like mentally satisfying to be able to pick up 2 swords that don't cost all that much compared to just one thing that costs a ton. Feels like you're making progress. Speaking of making progress, QO just used an Omni Slash on Jason, which is exactly not making progress. They placed another obs back here. They are going to snowball straight in. I don't think they can actually do anything with this. Dubu's going to Walrus Punch. They will take down the tower, but it's going to cost them their Tusk more than likely. Sonic Wave, you're not dead, actually. Plasma Field, you're dead. They take down the tower, lose Dubu. That's worth it for Immortals, especially pulling out that Sonic Wave cooldown from the Quap, so they don't have to worry about that moving forward. Getting this gold. Kaya, Ether Lens on the Pugna, or at least that's the build. Jug has his items in the pipeline. Viper, I assume, has a Dragon Lance on the Courier. That is not a Dragon Lance. MSS going to get jacked up pretty hard here. Burrow Strike, Serpent Wards, and Obliterated. Now this build on Pugna is pure Glass Cannon. I guess Skywrath Mage as well. Oh no, Jason. Dude, you're trapped. Is it bait? I don't think it's bait. Guys, I'm pretty sure it's not bait. Yeah, that was why they had the, my bad, or sorry there. Shit happens and you die. Just like life. Feels bad, man. They get a freebie, I guess, but losing that Pugna, man, is costly. Pugna isn't, like, mega farmed or anything, but it is one of the very important heroes for Immortals to keep alive, just to apply that nuking pressure and apply that threat. Like, if you're 5 turtles and you know that the Pugna is dead and respawning, then you can really do whatever you want. But if you are unsure of where the Pugna is, you're scared. Speaking of scared, Gunner is not scared because he has Blink. Again, it's impossible for Tusk to gank Quap. It's just not going to happen. Now it's a guessing game. Where are Immortals going to appear? Sword is really focusing on farming with this Broodmother. Could just be banging down this tower right now, but a little bit hesitant to do so. Heavy MSS Dubu, they will find themselves a Razor. That's the damage you expect from a Mystic player, but there was no mana for that. Decrepify, how much bonus damage is this level 3? And they increase 50% more magic damage. Yeah. Plus an additional 35% increase. You're gonna get blown up pretty hard. Infused Raindrop is only so good. Push on the bottom lane. Sword is gonna jump into action with this Desolator, decreasing the armor for all these little spiders. This is going to drop in a hurry, but at the same time, Immortals are making at least something of a trade here in this mid lane. Serpent Wards will be up soon for MJW. This Broodmother now can expand her web area to over here and just keep pushing this bottom lane. Although, oh, Immortals, the pings are out. They're going to go for an Alpha Strike. They are just going to go for it, man. I mean, Broodmother is not powerful in this area in particular. She can race really well, though. So if 5 turtles are able to stall, if they're able to hold, they can get themselves a trade. Oh, Ancient Seal, Guffin of the Queen of Pain. She's in a lot of trouble right now. No flare just yet. Just the blast in the drain. She's dead. How much mana sustain do they have here? Soul Ring, and I think that might be it for MSS. He does it to Kaya, and they will be forced to fall back, knowing that it's going to be really rough racing here. Sword has the full-on army. This tower is going to go down. Spiderling's not going to die to the blast. And, of course, the wards don't take any damage from that blast at all, so tower is claimed here by the 5 turtle side. As Immortals are... Honestly, it seems like they were a little bit unsure as to what the game plan should be at that stage of the game. They will lose the tower. That means they're going to lose the shrines. That means they lose map control. And up against the Broodmother, you need all the map control you can get. This Brood is going to be so difficult to kill off. Blink Dagger, double crit from QO. Like, this can clear out these Spiderlings, but right now he is in a compromised position. He's in a lot of trouble right now. He has Spin TP, and there's nothing that 5 turtles have that can get through that. They can just initiate on him and kill him before he's even able to spin. He's going to try to spin with the Healing Ward and just run away. That is not the rune you were looking for, unfortunately. A haste rune, maybe you get out of there. He's going to try to... Dude, why? Why are you... He got a lot of spiders, but Omnislash is just not that good there. You do hit extra times in the Omnislash if you have enough attack speed. I don't believe he does. So, like, eventually Omnislash will start doing cleave damage as the Juggernaut hits in the Omnislash, but that's, you need an attack speed item for that. Like, maybe if you had Power Treads, maybe. We'll just swoop right in, take this Roche for free as 5 turtles get right back on the horse, pushing-wise. And hell, picking off a Juggernaut like that, never gonna say no. Top lane, Walrus Punch onto Jason. MSS now going to arrive with the Drain to get the kill. Though there are a lot of heroes coming in right now. Dubu needs to TP out like 5 seconds ago. They're going to look for MSS and Dubu and get neither without the vision to land a Hex or a Shackle. Clean escape there for Immortals just to pick off on the Sand King, but hey, it's something for them. At this point, I think they should be feeling a little bit desperate here. So they have yet to answer this Broodmother, and they can definitely kill her off. But they really don't have enough guaranteed AoE to kill off both her and all of her little babies. And let me tell you, there's nothing Immortals would love more than to kill a handful of babies. Who said that? Was that? That's unprofessional, Mike. Come on. That is super. Whoa, Febby. I thought he was gonna go for like a Glimmer Cape or something, or Force Staff. No, he's gonna go all in for the Ags, baby. It makes you do so much damage, but it's so expensive to build up. MJW, oh, Horse Punch canceled. And QO coming right in with the Haste Rune. He does not have an Omni Slash, but he's going to wall off the Razor at least a little bit. Focus him down with the spin, and of course that Ancient Seal amplifying the damage of that spin. Get into the lane with the Broodmother, making her stand with the webs and try to just make some plays. Get 2 kills. That's going to be a tower down at least here for Immortals. Sword, is he ready to fight? Does have an Aegis, so this is the time to fight. But no real web presence in the area with only 1 in the tank. TP out, Sword, I think was spotted. I think is spotted. I think they know that Sword is there. Burrow Strike In's gonna miss onto MP, MSS and Febby. Ooh, they're just gonna try to leave. MP, he's fine because they knew the Burrow Strike did miss. And Febby, don't really know what the plan is here. Probably just leave. Try to jack up this bear. It is a Virtus Pro Werebear. Okay. It doesn't have any vision here, so I don't like really know if that's plausible, but QO is just bouncing around all over the place, just trying to out Broodmother the Brood. So far hasn't been like winning in that regard, but I mean he's been doing a pretty good job. He's been very competitive with this Brood as far as what they're trying to do split push wise. Of course, bottom lane is vulnerable. Raxes are available to be taken. Only 1 point of that ultimate for the Shadow Shaman, and the creep wave is coming in soon enough. Febby, oh, you don't want to see that. This is supposed to be a safe place. It is not. Backdoor protection is active. Gunner is going to try to buy a TP from the fountain. Yeah, he's going to get it, but the Serpent Wards are committed. The pings are out. They're really looking to race. There is a dire creep wave coming. Fortification is there, and the fortification's here for the dire as well. I don't think this is going to work out for Immortals, because, well, Rax are already dead. They're going to snowball in towards Jason, do a lot of damage onto that SK. With the dots and the poison attack, they'll kill him off. Hexes off onto the Juggernaut, but bottom Rax have already been taken. Immortals absolutely need to make this an even Rax trade if they're going to have a chance in this game moving forward. Blast going to start chunking down those towers. Still going to jump in for the Omnislash on MJW. The dice is up the Shadow Shaman, but he immediately buys out. This is actually really expensive here for 5 turtles. Here comes the Epicenter, which will do a whole lot of nothing up against MP with his Corrosive and QO with his own style of Corrosive in that Blade Fury. The Rax will be taken on top, and Immortals, really, I did not expect this result. MP, Force Staff out, immediately going to snap that Link, and oh, they isolate the Shadow Shaman with the shards from Dubu. 6 shard play from the Tusk. Here comes Sword. The fun might just be over. Broodmother still has that Aegis. Is going to pop the BKB. There's really not many answers they have for that. Blast going to be chucked out, but the Sonic Wave can do a little bit more there. Tusk going to snowball back in towards the Razor. Dubu is going to sacrifice his own life. MSS still wants in though. Sword's ultimate has worn off, so the lifesteal is no longer there. Or at least his Mask of Madness. No real lifesteal. Can he? Chased out with the poison attack. Burrow Strike lands onto 2. Healing Ward still giving them quite a bit of juice. QO gonna race for the Rax. TP out instead. Will make it out. MP as well. MSS. Oh, TP. Oh, they all get away. That is going to be an even Rax trade. I do not believe it. That's an even Rax trade, so they're 1 for 1, and you know, it's still going to be quite nice for the 5 turtles that they did get that Rax, but they're unable to use the Aegis and the Broodmother. They lose so many heroes. Is that it? It seems like a little bit more, but I mean, hell, losing your supports and then having them buy back means that what you see is what you get. Like, these guys are not going to have another item for a very long time. And Immortals are able to just bulldoze their way in classic Immortals fashion. That is a resounding win for the Radiant side. They have a Battle Fury Jug and a Pugno with the Blast. So they can handle these super creeps. Five turtles can as well, of course. They're not going to be completely screwed over by this. Oh, spiderlings. A little bit of extra cash there for QO. But when you're up against Broodmother, if you lose Rack, it's really bad. But if you're able to trade, that means that the Broodmother, what she really wants to do is, at this point, go up on top lane, just kind of perch there and push top and mid. But it's going to be so much slower for her to do that. And Immortals, I'm sure, are feeling themselves right now. Able to really avoid the Broodmother to her entirety. Now she doesn't have an Aegis anymore. First BKB used. Doesn't really get her all that much. And Immortals feeling themselves so much, they're just going to go in for the push. Sigil scouting out so that the Nether Ward doesn't get jacked up by the Broodmother from the south. Like, they see her coming, so the Sigil's going to immediately get taken down. Blast will do very little. QO is going to jump in, cleave apart the entire Spiderling army. The Nether Ward is still vulnerable here, but there's no real way for them to jump on it. Oh, they found the Kenny Razor. They annihilate him. They actually did use the Omni Slash for that one, so QO is in a little bit of trouble. BKB pops out onto Sword. He's going to charge right in as the Epicenter does come in as well. QO is going to fall. MP shortly after. Yeah, even with the Force Staff, he's not going to survive here. MSS is in a really bad spot. Flare's going to do some damage, but not nearly enough. They crash in super hard 5 turtles, and they get themselves 3 cores and a support Tusk. Dubu trying to race for that Sand King. Not going to happen. He's out of mana and out of life. 5 turtles make a fantastic turnaround there. A lot of assets being used on that one Razor, and yeah, they got him. But isolating the Jug like that, like this build on Juggernaut, is not meant to man fight. It is supposed to be a very get in, get out type of style for the Juggernaut, and well, they got in pretty well, failed to get out. Great response there from the 5 Turtles squad, and Immortals supposed to be tanky, but when the Burrow Strike and Epicenter lands that well, when the Sonic Wave is easily set up, really no losing that fight from there on out. Oh shit, Febby, he's got himself an Ags in just a minute. I don't know if this is actually going to be good. Ags just makes you, it doesn't like necessarily increase only Mystic Flare. It makes you like double cast spells for free, so you essentially double your spell casting. If you're able to, I mean, first of all, like Ags just gives you health, so that's really good for Skywrath Mage. Gives you some mana too. It really is only like really good if you're able to survive and get several spells off, and I'm not really sure how feasible that is for Febby. But the baller points that you get by picking up an Ags on a support Skywrath Mage as your first item, like just baller points off the charts. So like even if Immortals lose this game, Febby wins. Like Febby won this game no matter what happens. At least in the hearts and minds of myself, and I'm sure many of the viewers. You can't go wrong with this, man. Until you realize, oh shit, wait, the enemy team has 2 BKBs, and I'm all in on spellcasting. Whoops. Oh well. They will blink after Sword. Takes a little bit of damage, but Mask of Madness, Lifesteal, no big deal. QO is going to be spotted by an Ozp on the high ground. Febby just wants to get in for a seal. This is a really bad spot for Immortals to fight because they have very little vision here. They do seal up the Quap, but she has a haste rune. Narrowly gets out of there with it. It also has a Yule Scepter, so a seal into a flare is never going to kill her. Q on the front lines, hexed up first thing, needs a Force Staff. He's trapped. He's going to Force Staff, but the Link is still there. Gunner's taking a lot of damage from Mystic Flares. Epicenter's actually going to be canceled with the Blink Dagger. So he can cast Epi, but he can't do any damage with it. But still, Skywrath Mage has fallen. MP can try TP out. The damage is enough. Sword gets that injection in, and they also isolated Dubu. A 3 kill for 5 turtles, these BKBs. And QO kind of being initiated upon with just a walk-in hex from MJW. 5 turtles get yet another win. 3 kills, and this one is going to be amplified by the fact that Roche is spawning almost immediately afterwards. Not only is it a 1 fight, but it's the perfectly timed to win a fight. MSS pushing towards that Nether Blast damage talent. Going to be an absolute godsend up against these Spiderlings, but man, he's doing a lot of damage, has quite a bit of utility, but again, all this damage is just irrelevant when the BKBs come up. BKBs are starting to dwindle. 6 seconds should be 8. No, it's 9 on the Razor. It really doesn't matter. Like, Magic Immunity is Magic Immunity. You get rid of the seal, just block all of that damage from the Skywrath Mage. Duo is going to find Sword with the Omni Slash. Split a little bit by Jason. They missed the Burrow Strike. The damage is not enough. And now he's going to have to back off. Sword actually going to die to the illusions. Never mind, it is enough. And they've also caught the Razor. They can shard his passageway out. And yeah, now Kenny's in a really bad spot. He's trying to sneak through the trees, but there's no way to get through there. He's going to try to teleport out instead. Flare goes on him. It's going to kill off Jason instead. Totally intentionally by Febby, by the way. And that is going to be a 2-kill for Immortals, plus Roshan still in contention here. The bottom lane is pushing. Someone from the Immortal side has got to deal with that. But they're just going to go in instead, picking off that Broodmother. Such a huge gain. And that, QO, is how you Omni Slash. I'm sure he knows. I'm just playing, guys. Oh shit, MP's going for an Aghanim Scepter as well. I haven't seen that in a long time. So Nether Ward just zapped MJW for about a third of his HP. Shard's going to trap him in. And he's going to try to Ghost Scepter and make a break for it. Magic damage is intense. Won't quite kill him off. Poison attack actually will kill him off. Amplified by the seal. QO is kind of dying to the wards though. Sword is almost going to get blocked by the shards, but she's Broodmother, so she doesn't actually give a damn. And they will force out a buyback again here for Immortals. I mean, they've lost a couple of fights here and there, but they haven't really lost many objectives off of those fights. Compare that to what just happened. Walk in, take a tier 3 tower, pull out the Serpent Wards, pull out a buyback on the Broodmother, and maybe still able to get the Roshan. Immortals, they're just finding better time with their kills. Like, they're just, maybe intentionally, maybe not, I'm actually not too sure. But the kills are happening just in a more fortunate timing for them because they can get things done afterwards. Someone should probably grab that cheese. I heard cheese is a good item. But yeah, Aghanim Scepter up on the Viper as well. Decreases the cooldown really is the big part about that. 5-second or 10-second cooldown on the Viper Strike. And of course gives you health, which is always nice with the Aghanim Scepter. But usually Viper nowadays, like, you either just go straight into right clicks or you go straight into casting. This is neither here nor there. You can see when Viper picked up pre-rework, just a lot of bulk and then an Aghanim Scepter to add some threat level. Febby is in the wrong neighborhood. This is not your neighborhood, Febby. How good is it here? The lower cooldown. I mean, he can throw it onto someone who has a BKB up and still have it when the BKB goes down. There is some value in that. It's really a matter of how long can he survive in these engagements? How many Viper Strikes can he actually get off? I'm not actually sure if this is good with Viper nowadays, because you have another ability. Like, when you had just Poison Attack and Viper Strike, like, your mana wasn't really that much of an issue. But adding a Nether Toxin as an active cast instead of a passive means that, like, you have a lot of extra mana costs here. And he hasn't really built all that much in the mana department, so like 1-2 Nether Strikes, he's gonna run out of mana really quickly, even with that cheese. You don't really want to use cheese as a mana potion. That's not good, man. Oh, that's a lot of spiders. Goes rolling in the dough off of that one. Still, he is kind of a soft hero here on the front lines. Does have that Aegis, so he's gonna be pretty confident in going for this regardless. And they are just gonna go for it. They have seen Broodmother in the area, especially casting that web. So they're not a top lane split push, though it is there. Can only do so much damage. So are they just going to brute force their way in? Yeah, the kitty cat is up. Burrow Strike in onto the Juggernaut. He does have the split to get a little bit of distance here. Force Staff out. 78 damage stolen by Kenny, but they are able to disengage away from the BKB usage of the Razor. BKB still here on the Broodmother off on the side, but for QO, he only expends that split. Not a terribly huge deal. Gunner now hit with the Viper Strike. Doing some pretty serious damage. Jumping from QO. Mystic Flare going to be dodged by the Blinks, and Mystic Flares will do nothing, but they do get the seal off into the Sand King. He's not able to get any combos off, but the Snowball coming in, Sand King will fall first. QO taking a lot of damage here, but he does have the Aegis. And they will be able to disengage away. Maybe MJW hit with the full Omni Slash, but he does have the Ghost Scepter, taking about no damage. Actually, literally no damage. He will eventually go down here, but they'll trade him for the Aegis on the Juggernaut. Febby also dropping low will die to the Sonic Wave as QO is going to respawn immediately going into the spin. Taking a lot of physical right clicks, though, from this Broodmother and her babies. Already 2 heroes down for 2, but there is still a cheese here on MP. The Viper Strike's starting to slowly chip out 5 turtles right now, but they do have the fountain right around the corner. Gunner's going to hit pretty hard by that Nether Ward. Pops the BKB now, trying to go for MP, but Snowball's going to be there to give him a little bit of safety. Roll in towards the Razor. Viper Strike is there with another Toxin, and Razor's going to get chopped to bits. That's going to be a buyback, forced out once again. Sword with his ultimate up is trying to race for MPs, not doing a lot of damage though, as Kenny's link is immediately going to be broken. He does have the BKB still, but he can't really do anything with it without that link. He'll be Magic Beam with no damage. QO is going to go Magic Beam to do some damage onto the creep wave. Blasts are being spammed out all the while by MSS kind of quietly in the background. The racks are therefore being chipped out. Top lane also starting to push back towards the dire side, as 5 Turtles do have their entire roster back up. There is no AoE healing here. QO's healing ward is on cooldown. Immortals still really want to go for this though. They've already consumed the cheese. They're just looking to slowly chip out these racks. One more blast will do it. Burrow Strike in onto the Viper though. He's going to get force tapped out. The snowball is going to go the wrong way. No, it's actually going to go the right way. Dubu targeted a creep there. Now he's on the run. He's hit with a shackle and he probably won't survive. Everyone else though, the MSS is not going to survive either, I'm afraid. Oh, the flare is going to come and give MSS a little bit of cover, but not doing enough damage. And now this Skywrath Mage, who literally just respawned and walked all the way in, is on the run. Here comes the blink from the Quap. Should be dying here shortly. Febby is going to ditch all of his spells, do very little. And the racks actually were taken. I didn't see that. Top lane also is going to push in all the way towards the Ancient Towers. And wow, are these top lane creeps going to kill off the range racks? I didn't know that they did that. I thought they just go straight in for the towers, but I guess not. Aggro to the range racks instead of the buildings? Interesting. Either way, Immortals are able to force quite a few buybacks out from 5 Turtles. Kill trade, definitely in their advantage. Gunner is going in, man, into a Viper Strike. He does have the Yule Scepter, and a blink out immediately afterwards, so they can't kill him with the Omni Slash. But Immortals took a pretty big step forward in this game. That's super aggressive timing push. They are in a pretty compromised position right now. QO and MP. Maybe surrounded. MP doesn't force that out, but not if he gets hexed. Omni Slash goes in onto only Kenny. And MP, he is going to fall here. QO, can he do it all by himself? He does end up picking off Kenny. Actually, MP's Corrosive Skin does the job. And now the Shadow Shaman is caught in a shard cage. He's being ignored though. Okay, never mind with the flare. Not the flare, the bolts. They'll kill him off, and now the crits on the Gunner. They are still giving chase here. Queen of Pain is going to be walled in by the shards. What a weird angle, but it works anyway. And now Dubu, healed up by MSS, force pop his own BKB. Not doing him a ton of favors up against this Broodmother. Another flare goes off onto Jason. Does get down to the low ground. Unfortunately, the Broodmother doesn't have that same luxury. She'll walk over the shards, but she'll get diced to bits by QO. First strike back in from Jason, but he's not long for this world. He's going to give QO a triple kill. And 5 Turtles deciding to take a fight nowhere near home in the middle of no man's land, getting diced to bits by this, again, style of Juggernaut that is meant to get in, crash in really hard, and get out, disengage, and rinse and repeat. And this time, Febby, again, the mark of a good Skywrath Mage, being able to cast several volleys of spells, was able to cast almost infinitely in that last engagement. Didn't run out of mana, didn't run out of health. That's the dream for the Skywrath Mage. Dubu is going to just... That was weird. Fourth, the Yule Scepter. He was looking for the Walrus Punch. Something happened there. They'll just go in and take the win. There are no more buybacks here on 5 Turtles. Immortals have won the game here. Oh, Mystic Flare. Would have done damage if BKBs weren't a thing. Immortals still are going to take the series 2-0, guys. 5 Turtles aren't, like, out because this is a, kind of a real bracket situation, but still not doing all that hot. What else we have? We have Radiant Esports and Pikachu Blue, the other 2 teams in this group. That's going to be happening soon, I think, maybe in like a couple hours. There's definitely going to be more here from the Bucharest Major, PGL Bucharest Major, in the upcoming days. It's going to be a ton of Dota. For right now, though, guys, someone else is going to take control of this stream. I have no idea who it is. It's someone good, I hope. Maybe, probably. But Immortals, congratulations to them. Good to see Immortals get back on the horse. MSS seems like he's a pretty good fit. If you guys enjoyed the games, well, there's a lot more from this tournament and many other tournaments in the area, so be sure to hit them all up. Follow the channel if you're not already. What the hell is wrong with you? You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Loris. Thank you guys for watching. Hearts to all of you. I'll see you guys in the next game.